All right, we are going to do now trigonometry equation. Oh, this is a very nice topic. Trigonometry equation is beautiful and it's very simple. I'll just give you an example of a trigonometry equation. Okay. For example, when they say sine of a alpha equal to 1 over 2. So what they mean here, okay, it means which angle alpha gives you 1 over 2. So how do you solve it? You say alpha equal to the inverse of sine, meaning that you can have like this, or this is the inverse of a sine. So meaning that which value of which angle gives you this, okay? Or you can write it also arc sine of a 1 over 2. So the angle that gives you 1 over 2 is 30 degrees. Okay? It means that sine of a 30 degrees equal to 1 over 2. You can verify, yeah? It's very simple. So sine of a 32. So now, this is just a simple one. I believe all will be simple. So you will go to the example that first one you can find where you find the first trigonometric equation, which you have a form sine of a equal to sine of a b, or you can have a cos of a equal to cos of a b. So in this case, how do you solve an equation like this? In this case, a will be equal to b. All right, a equal to b. Now, most of these questions you will see it when you're solving a trigonometry, for example, trigonometry graph. Okay, so we can have a graph of a trigonometry. For example, this is an example. We have a sine 2x equal to sine of x plus 90 degrees. Okay, so what that means, you have a 2x equal to x, because we have a sine, so these two are equal. So meaning that when you transpose, you have a 2x minus x equal to 90 degrees. So x should be equal to 90 degrees. So when you solve this equation, you'll have x is equal to 90 degrees. So if you verify, you will find that, let's check, we'll find that the sine, when it's 90 degrees, we have a 2 times 90. Alright, and here we have a sine also of what? X, which is 90 degrees plus 90. So we have a sine of 180 degrees equal to sine of 180 degrees. So this will be 0 and this will be 0. Okay. So Normally here you can say plus k 360, meaning that when k is equal to k can be equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so alright, now let's move to next example. I want to show you another example. Sometimes you have a cos of 2x, for example, equal to sine over x. Alright, we have these two. How do you solve this? Now, since we have cos and a sine, and look at here, the coefficient here, both coefficients are the same, are equal, okay? So remember, when you have to change, you have to change the sine to cos, okay? So remember, let's change it from sine here, because if you change the sine to cos, you have only one possibility. But with this, if you change cos, remember, if I have sine of 90 minus, let me put here 2x, I know why, and let me put here 1x, okay? If I have a sine of x, 90 degrees minus x is still equal to cos, okay? So I have something like this. Sine 90 degrees minus x equal to cos x. Remember, sine over 90 degrees change to cos, cos over 90 degrees change to sine. Therefore, I will have 90, because now I have a sine, so I can have a sine 90 minus x equal to 2x. So what we do here, whenever you have a question, make sure that you have a sine both sides or cos both sides, then you equate the angle that you have here. So we change cos to sine, so we can have both sine, okay? Both sides sine. Therefore, what is going to happen, we'll have 90, and this side will be 3x, okay? So I prefer to write it 3x is equal to 90 degrees. So in this case, add always a k360. So what is k360 means? When k is equal to 0, you have a 90 degrees. But when k is equal to 1, so if you see this angle 90 degrees plus k is equal to 1 here, will be 450. So the angle of 450 is equal to 90 degrees. The value will be the same. Okay? If k is equal to 2, you continue, that will be 720, you add a 90 degrees. So let's leave it like this. Now there we go. So when you divide, it's very important to add k360 in the beginning, because when you are going to divide, both sides will be x by 3. You divide by 3, by 3, divide by 3 also here. 90 by 3, divide here by 3. So x will be equal to 30 degrees plus k 120 degrees. So this is the value of what we were looking for, okay? So x, the first value of x is 30 degrees plus k 120. What will be the next one? the next value will be, you can change the cos over x by sine 90 degrees plus x, because sine over 90 degrees plus x is the second quadrant, is still positive cos. Okay, so that is why I prefer to change a cos to sine than to change a sine to cos, because sine will give me only one possibility. So therefore here we have a sine 2x. Now what is going to happen? Because sine, meaning that we have a 90 plus x equal to 2x. Okay, so when you transpose x this side, it will be 2x minus x, so it will be x equal to 90 degrees. So this is the answer. When you solve this equation, trigonometric equation, you will get this answer, x equal to x will be equal to, let me do this, x will be equal to this, and x will be equal to this. Is that clear? All right, now let's move to the next example, number 2. Let me go to my color. Yeah, okay. All right, fine. Let's move to the next example. The next example now, you can have now, sorry, the next example where you have a same angle now, okay? You have a same angle, but the coefficients are different. For example, I have a sine alpha, and this side I have a b cos alpha. You see here now, we have a same angle, but the coefficients are different. The first one we had like this, alpha sine beta, where different the angle but the coefficients are equal. We have 1 1, okay? So you say alpha equal to beta, but in this case now, angles are the same. Angle is the same angle, but the coefficients are different. So what is going to happen here? It's very simple. You have to divide both sides. You have to make sure that you have a form that will give you tangents. What are you going to do? I will divide this side by cos alpha. I divide also both sides by cos alpha, so cos alpha this side can go. Then I'll remove also a here. I divide by a, I divide by a. So what is going to happen? I will cancel this. Therefore, sine over cos will give me tangent. And then I cancel this, will give me b over a. Can you see? So we have a tangent alpha, which is equal to b over a. Then from there you solve. I would go, for example, the example that we can get here, it's very simple. we look at the example. For example, we have a question like where we have a sine of x equal to 2 cos x. Okay, so how do you solve this? You cannot change this cos to, because to sine you have a problem with 2 here. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, I'll make it simple by having a sine x. I will divide here by cos x, and then I'll divide also this side by cos x. So I'll cancel this. Sine over cos will be tangent, and then here we have a 2. Therefore, you have to calculate to know what value is this. So you take your calculator, you go to the second function. Okay, so you have a x equal to arc tangent over 2. Okay, so you press the tangent over 2, so will give you x equal to 63,48 degrees. But now, this is not finished. Okay, what am I going to do? This is the first example. This is the first answer. Okay, now you must get at least 2 answers. Why? Because when you look at tangent, it is, when this is the quadrant, tangent is positive here, and the tangent is positive this. So first quadrant and the third quadrant. And the third quadrant, we have an angle within 0 to 90 degrees. So this is the answer of this is the first quadrant. Okay, now what about the third quadrant? The third quadrant, we have a 180 plus theta. So this became also your reference angle. The reference angle. Okay, so what are we gonna do here? You will take another angle, which will be x equal to 180 plus 63,48. So another x will give you 48 here. Here we'll have a 3, then we'll have a 243 degrees. So we have 2 answers, this one and 63,48. So if you can try, take your calculator. If you put here a sine of 63,48, and this side you put sine, you put 63,48, the answer will be equal. If you also use 243,48 over here, you use 243,8 over here, 48 here, the answer will be the same. Now let's move to the next example. Let's go to the next example. Suppose you have another example. You have a minus sine x equal to cos x. All right. So now the angle, remember, sine x, cos x, the same angle. So all you can do here, you'll have to to make sure that you divide this side by minus cos, so you can cancel this sign, and then you divide here also by minus cos. When you cancel, this will be tangent x. You cancel, this will be minus 1. Okay. Now, what you have to do here, you have to look at, you first find the reference angle. The reference angle, you can find it without a sign. So we found that if you take your calculator, you use x is equal to arc tangent of a minus 1, you will find the answer minus 45. So this is a reference angle. So what is the reference angle? It just shows you that this sign of a negative, it is in the which quadrant tan it's negative, which means it is negative in a second quadrant. In a second quadrant, it's 180 minus theta, which means minus 45. So x will be 135. Now it's also negative in the fourth quadrant, where you will have 360 degrees minus 45, because it's minus theta, so theta is 45. So here we'll have 315. So the answer of this question will be this one and this. Okay, this is just a reference angle. Okay, sorry, but the correct answer will be these two. X is equal to 135 and the x equal to 115. So this is also another trigonometry equation that you can come across. Now let's go to the last case of a trigonometry equation that you can come across. Another trigonometry equations is this one, where you have a trigonometry equation in the form of a quadratic equation, where you have a sine squared alpha plus b sin alpha, and then plus c equal to 0. All right, so you can also find something like this. Now, in this case, what do you do? In this case, all you do is to solve by using the factors. You use the two methods here, okay? Or you can find that a cos squared beta, b cos beta plus c equal to 0. So which method do you use here? You use two methods. You use quadratic formula to solve this, which is you have sine alpha or cos will be minus b plus or minus square root of a b squared minus 4ac over 2a. or you can use the method we call factorization. You factorize. Alright, you can factorize, or you can use this. Alright, now let's go to the example. I want to give you an example. All right. For example, it says solve the trig equation we have 2 sine squared x plus sine x minus 1 equal to 0. So in this case, you can use a quadratic formula or you can factorize. What will be a solution here? Very simple. Let me do my solution in yellow. This is orange. Okay, it's fine. Alright, now what will be the solution here? Let's factorize. 2 sine, we open the bracket, this is how you factorize, and here you put sine x. I think this color is too bright. Sorry, let me remove this. I'm sorry. Let's go back to our green. Okay, now what is going to happen here? You open bracket, sine x, and on this side it will be sine x, because 2 sine x multiplied by sine x will give you 2 sine squared x. Now, which number you put here? Remember, when you multiply these 2 terms, I give you this, and the term that we put here, the number that we put here, when you multiply them, should give you this. Okay, so there we go. We have a 1 times 1 will give us 1. Okay, so now what sign are you going to put here, and what sign are you going to put here? So when you need a positive here, okay? So here should be plus, because when you multiply here will be plus 2, and then when you put minus here will be minus sign when you multiply here. So you have this equal to what? 0. Therefore we have a 2 sine x is equal to 1. So sine x will give you 1 divided by 2. Or you have a sine x equal to minus 1. So this is our 2 solution you found here. Now let us solve them now. What is going to happen? You have to find the reference angle for this. Remember, x, you'll say x equal to arc sine of 1 over 2, which gives you 30 degrees. Now this is a first quadrant, because reference angle is the first quadrant, and the sign in the first quadrant is positive. So this is correct. And the second quadrant, sign is also positive, so it will be 180 minus 30 degrees. So another answer will be 150 degrees. Okay. Now, what will happen now for this one? We have x equal to arc sine of -1. Now, which sign gives you -1? We have a 90 degrees on the top when the sine is equal to 1. On the bottom, sine will be -1. So we say the answer will be 270, 270 degrees will give you this. So the solution of this equation will be, of this trigonometry equation, will be, the first one is this, and the second one is this, and the third one is this. This is what we call a trigonometry equation. I'm going to end there, and then the next video will be exercises. Thank you.